When you watch this video, you're stepping into something that doesn't happen very often in my readings, and especially not in group readings. Usually my group readings are a blend of life messages, intuitive messages, psychic energy being used to give you information about your own life, or your loved ones coming through to connect for healing, clarity, connection, those types of things. What I don't normally do is something called trance, and that's what we're going to see today. The group at this group meeting was especially spiritually connected. I could feel their energy, and it almost felt like the group was asking for something special. At the end of the reading, there were a few minutes left, and I felt pulled to go into trance. Now, this is not something I normally do or advertise. Usually, when you do this, you kind of summon a spirit close to you, a loved one who's passed, and then ask them to speak through your body. The woman who came through was extra special, and I have never gotten anything like this before. She spoke in a way that was so physical and intimate. It was almost violent in its imagery, and it spoke with such emotion that I felt like I needed to share it with more than just the people on the group reading. There were moments that felt a bit like a confession, moments that felt like regret, but truly the message that she shared, I think, is one that's universal for a lot of people, and especially at this moment in time. What you'll hear are her words spoken through me. So I invite you to stay for the entire video. When people come to my group readings, they're stepping into a space where I pull intuitive messages, loved ones who've passed, and the energy of the group to give a spectacular reading together. Every single session is different because every person brings their own version of their energy to the group. I start my process by tuning in to the energy of the group first, and then go one by one through the participants and see what messages come first to me. If it's a life message or there's a loved one who's knocking on the door, that's where we start. And we kind of go round robin through the group, and everybody gets a message and gets their questions answered at the end. And we do this really fun round robin of yes, no questions at the end with a pendulum. And they tend to be the most inspiring, sometimes funny, sometimes sad, sometimes emotional questions of the day. These readings are about clarity and validation in giving you guidance and really affirming things that you already know about yourself, but giving you additional information that maybe you don't have yet or a loved one wants to share with you. Before we begin, I just want to talk about what trance is and what trance is not. Trance is not possession. It's not being embodied by someone where I have no control. I am still in my body. I'm just taking a back seat. I kind of envision it as sitting on a bench behind my body, kind of like patiently waiting, kind of ignoring what's happened almost, or turning off my brain. That's what I do when I'm sitting in trance. So I'm still here. I'm just allowing the words of someone else to flow through me. I use trance as a practice technique because what it does is it brings the spirits so close to you that you can feel them, hear them, see them, and get such good information for your sitter. But I don't often share this with the public, but for whatever reason, in this group reading, this was what was expected of me. We're going to hear from Mary Magdalene. Now, I'm just as shocked as you. She was not someone that I summoned forward or not someone that I had done a ton of research about. I grew up Catholic in my very early years. My family left the church when my parents were divorced. So I don't have a full canon of the Bible's teaching, but I did read up on her story afterwards. For whatever you know about her, there is a very complicated duality and potentially incorrect history listed depending on which version and what timing of the Bible that you're reading. So I will leave it at that. And I'm sure that there are scholars out there that will correct things, but I'm just telling you that I am the vessel and she is talking through me, and I have really no control over what she's saying. Okay, I just got like very Mary Magdalene energy here for a second. So I feel like we're in this like lady parts situation here. Is it you that wants to talk? Okay, she wants to talk and give us guidance. All right. Hello, lovely ladies of this crew. Know that the soul asks for what the soul wants, and your job is to facilitate it happening instead of impeding it. We're taught over time to be something that we're not, but return to the initial, the conception, the soul contract that we all sign when we're born. You know your place, and it's not the place that someone else dictates for you. Your place is to stand strong, heart center open, proudly with both feet on the ground, navigating your world to the best of your ability. This does not mean that you don't stumble. This does not mean that it's always easy. This means I'm following the path with which my heart and my soul want me to follow. It's about connecting to others. It's about connecting to the earth and to your soul and to people and children and the light and the air. It's about absorbing the heat from the sun. It's about taking off your shoes and feeling the grass between your toes. It's about taking a bite into a juicy piece of fruit. The enjoyment of it. That's a choice. Not allowing anyone else to dictate how or when or what you're eating. Allowing the color and the light and the decision to be fully yours. I'm quite the misunderstood figure. I wasn't a whore as they paint me to be, but instead a woman who enjoyed life, a healer, a mystic, someone who followed her soul's path that intersected with just more important men, so to speak. My biggest regret is not writing my own book, not speaking my own story from start to finish, not making that a bigger deal. At the heart of myself was compassion, which I know for everyone here is also true. Sometimes we're taught that that is a weakness of sorts, something to be disregarded, but in fact, that is truth and strength and a willingness to follow your soul's path when it is compassionate. Others see that in you and recognize like beings and are attracted to that feeling. Allow that to happen. Allow yourself to make those connections. Because at the heart of this journey is not a solo one. It's meant to interact with others. We often talk about the divine feminine as something that's existing out there, something to attain. But in fact, it lives in each and every single one of us, the soul of us. It's something that doesn't need to be explained. Instead, just reached back for, acknowledged. It's a beautiful thing to fully encompass, to stand tall, to embody our femininity. Don't disregard that. Life's journey takes you in all different sorts of places. And yes, it's true that sometimes we need to act like a man or speak like a man, but in truth, it is not us, not our soul's purpose. Find the strength in who you are, exactly in who you are, not in someone else's definition. I send healing to you all. I place my hands on all of you. Feel my touch and my love. Feel my companionship. Feel my compassion. Oh, well, she was like the strongest woman. Wow, that was great. I've not gotten her before, a message like that before. I feel like part of that was for me myself. I hope you heard stuff in there that felt true to you too. Her words are just so beautiful, right? As you come out of this moment, I invite you to take whatever resonated with you. She was such a beautiful speaker, and I felt like her words needed a bigger audience. One of my participants said at the end there that getting this trance reading as part of the group reading was like getting an intuitive reading without having to do the work. Like essentially she just got to be a bystander, get all of the great information and didn't have to like think about it or participate. If this resonated with you, I do these group readings about once a month. Every month we have a theme. So sometimes it's around clarity or the new year or a deep dive into creativity, et cetera, et cetera. So I do have upcoming group readings coming up in April, May, and June. I am taking the summer off for July and August. If you would like to come to one of these group readings and absorb all of this lovely information and lovely readings for yourself, I invite you to my website, which I will list below in the comments. I am Emily Snyder, psychic medium for pets and people. Thank you so much for sitting with me. As always, stay open, stay curious, stay connected with connected intuition. See you next time.